I'm back at Mahlon, Dickerson. It's the middle of August, so the weather is a lot nicer. And the little swimming hole area here at Saffron Pond, I think it is. Saffron? I don't know. Looks like it's actually been used in the last month or so. Quite nice. It is Saffron. There's the trailer used by the swim team all summer long. Pretty cool. Looks nice and clean in there. They keep their stuff really well organized. Pretty nice. I bet their season is over. Swim team seasons usually end at the end of July, so it looks like they still have to clean out their trailer. I don't remember if that trailer was there in the winter and just empty, or if they moved the whole thing out. Kind of neat to see. I'm headed down to the pump station. That's the first thing to see. This is the top area of Saffron Pond, which itself gets emptied into by the pond at the end of this hike. 10 miles later, we'll see that. But first, we're headed down to the pump station, the lowest part, and see what that looks like in August. Coming up to the artwork I remember seeing last time I was here. If I had a clear picture of it, I'd be able to tell if it was changed or not. I remember there was some rude graffiti on it. I do remember that, but right now, it looks pretty. I do like it. I don't know if they paint over it or clean it, power wash it, and then do it again. Let's see if the rude graffiti's here. That will answer that question. Was it on this side? No, it wasn't. That looks really cool. I like that. Oh. Well, this part I distinctly remember. After the rock rill area, it says to make a left to stay on yellow, but there is the facilities for the park here, where all their machines are kept, things like that. I think back then I didn't really even know how to read trail signs, so I believe I'm fine now, especially since I know where to go. But it's worth mentioning that if you were as inexperienced as I was, last time I was at Mahlon, Dickerson, when you get to this area, you're following yellow down to the pump station, learn to read the trail sign. The how to make a right and how to make a left. Very important. All right, here it is, the pump station part of Mahlon Dickerson Reserve. The most southern part of the park with the trail on it. It goes more that way, but there's no trail there. I guess now that I'm back here, I can understand and appreciate why this part of the park might be somewhat important. Give you a sense of scale on where you're headed. If you're going to the highest point in Morris County, I think it's that right there. That's where we're headed. We'll be there in a couple hours. As you take the yellow trail up north on the eastern side of this reservoir at the bottom, this is where things start to ramp up. It's very uphill from here. Lots of rocks. At the very top, there's that erratic that's strangely balancing. I think that's the next thing we're going to see here. I am stopping right here because something popped right out at my eye and I couldn't help but notice it. Check this out. Vibrant, incredibly bright, very impressive. Tree fungus, purple. You don't see purples like that on a screen. That is a natural, real violet. Neat looking. Like an interesting tree fungus day here. When you get to these erratics, you're pretty much at the top of the yellow trail that heads back south before it goes back north. Really cool looking. I remember seeing these last time I was here. They have that neat gap underneath. Looks so dangerous. Now, I'm no mycologist, but I should have known. It rained heavy last night. There was even tornado warnings. And it will rain again later today. So we are in a very moist part of the day. Plus, it's only 8 in the morning. Yeah, note to self later though. If you're the first person in the park like this, pretty much anywhere, and the trails look like that, you will get covered in spider webs. As you come out from the top of this yellow trail, the top meaning the highest point in the southern end, you have to make a left. It doesn't really tell you that, but you have to make a left to stay on the trail. If you keep going straight here, there is a little rest area you can avail yourself. It's not a huge climb, something like, I don't know, 100 and change feet from the bottom of that reservoir. All in all, the highest point in Morris County will only be about 300 feet in elevation by the time I get up there. After consulting the map, it looks like the elevation change from the bottom of the reservoir to that little area there, the top of the yellow trail, the highest point of it, it's actually closer to 260 feet. I met a mushroom guy once. A mycologist, a mushroom enthusiast, a mushroom enjoyer. It was pretty cool. He was outside in some mulch, outside of a facility, just collecting mushrooms. I went up to him and asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, it just rained last night, so the prime getting for edible mushrooms is that morning after when things are still damp, the humidity is very high." He was collecting something he called wine cap mushrooms, and that's the only one I know how to identify thanks to that fella. So needless to say, I'm not touching a single piece of flora if I can help it. Even today, everything is wet, dirty, and covered in bugs here. And you know, I'll take the spider webs since I cannot avoid them, but everything else I'm just going to watch from afar. I remember making a comment months ago about this very tree that was laid down on this trail, not realizing at the time that that's what beavers do. Here's where the balancing rocks were last time there was a mighty stack. Let's see what it's like months later. I haven't seen this yet, and here it is. That's it. Well, who knows? I'm here at the top of Headley Overlook, your best chance to see Lake Hopatcong. It is summer. Let's get an idea of what we can see, or if we can see the lake. Seems the answer is no. Too much foliage, trees in the way, so you can't see it. Small road here is where teal finally splits off from white. You stay on white, you'll see a sign that says Pine Swamp. This is going to take me up to the, I guess, the highest point in Morris County. Morris County, 1,395 feet. So close to 1,400. It took about 2.5 hours from that time that I pointed it out to get up here. If you take the White Trail, you head on to the north side around the whole thing and then come up this way. It's actually a pretty easy climb that way. I've done it in this reverse way. This goes down to the blue trail down there, which then connects with the green. And that one's a bit steeper, so hey, I recommend it. I think it's a good thing. Here's the bench up here. Here's something interesting. 6 months ago, I brought a piece of charcoal up here to the back of this bench. And here it is. You can see it. I hope. Yeah. I scratched in Hogan, and it's lasted a good 6 months. If you asked me back then how long it would last, I'd say, I don't know, a week, and the rain's gonna wash it off. Kind of neat. Here I am at the end of blue. There it is. Which means it joins up with green. I don't know why I remember it being called this, but something like railroad, mine trail, something like that. No idea. This time there's no large patches of ice to awkwardly skate over in my sneakers, so it'll be a nice easy walk. It means I'm less than an hour out from finishing. Went quicker than I expected. I'll say that. Mahlon Dickerson, very, very nice all year long. This is a nice season for it. If you're in the southern part, be aware of the spider webs. Otherwise, very comfortable. This northern part, White Trail, Blue Trail, mosquitoes. Lots and lots and lots of mosquitoes. If I stop for a second, yeah, there you are. Okay, it doesn't take long. They find me, they'll swarm me. Not very comfortable, but it's a necessary evil to get through that area. Still very fun, very cool, and a nice place to visit. Last thing to see here is this. I think that's pretty much the exact spot I saw ice skaters last time I was here. Mahlon Dickerson, always a pleasure to be here. I like it a lot, and happy hiking out there if you decide to do it too.